Ayo, Muff, you going up. Ayo, Muff, you going up.
Damn, bro, this shit's crazy.
Welcome to another episode of the Marijuana News Story. I am your host. Calm down, cool, smooth, and peace. My lovely host, Nene, no smoke. We are bringing you let me shut up. We are bringing you a collective Burn Live news stories. Marijuana. Yeah, look at her. This is a celebration. But we're going to bring a cool, calm, collected to you. Okay, I couldn't do it. I tried.
I love this so much, guys. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, yeah, I need to pick. Now, welcome to the Burn Live show. Today is Monday. We go over marijuana news. Today is a big day for me. If y'all been watching the show and keeping up, y'all know that I was waiting on this day. I thought this day was gonna be a while. I really did. Legislation and people saying that, that racist man in the office don't be doing nothing for nobody. He don't care about nobody but his rich friends.
He didn't do it though. It was the Supreme Court.
It was doing his administration.
It still was the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court, which is majority picked by. Ooh. Yeah. But nah, understanding y'all, it wasn't done by the Trump, but it's during the Trump administration. When people look back in history, they be like, when was it done? Who was in office? That's what the main thing people said. They're going to connect. Just like people last night didn't like the simple fact that the Olympics is doing so good. People are praising it. And a certain person is going to get... FIFA World Cup is doing good.
Man, I'm enjoying watching these people. I ain't gonna lie. These people that love America, I just love it.
And see, that was the conversation like that. And I was getting such negative reviews for my paddle.
Watching their excitement is what makes me happy.
Folks, we've got it.
And from what they was telling me, y'all, it's like, oh no, it's just the hype, because of the simple fact that this is a normal kind of content creating of what you do. And I was like, okay, cool. If that's the norm, I enjoy it times 10, because yet again, we have a lot of countries all over the world that's tuning in. But that's not why we're here. Get your blunts, get your joints, get your bongs, get your dabs, get your weed. Sit back, grab a pillow, light up, and let's get into this marijuana news for today. Now, I'm gonna come with y'all. Y'all know how I normally do, strictly news. But before we break into the news, I want y'all to break into the story. And the story is, today is a good day.
Absolutely massive breaking news story on the Second Amendment. The United States Supreme Court just struck down as being entirely unconstitutional the federal law. That's right, we're talking all 50 states. The federal law that banned people who regularly use substances like marijuana, we're talking drugs, controlled substances, from ever being able to possess, purchase, transport, carry, or use firearms without exposing themselves to upwards of a 15-year federal prison sentence. Here are 3 key things that you need to know. Number 1, they struck this down because they said that you cannot just do categorical bans when it comes to the Second Amendment. What am I talking about? In this case, it doesn't matter if you are a danger to society or not. What the Supreme Court says is you can't just throw everybody into this bucket of you use marijuana. Now you're a danger to society, and therefore you can no longer have your Second Amendment rights. The Supreme Court said, no, you cannot do that. At the same time as they did that, they also potentially opened up a door for Congress to pass future laws that say things like, look, this particular drug is unusually dangerous for people to be on, and now if you are on this drug, you can lose your Second Amendment rights. Number 2, some of the anti-gun justices on the United States Supreme Court, Justices Jackson and Sotomayor, did launch an attack on the historical Bruen framework. Bruen is the United States Supreme Court case from 2022 that really raised the bar on Congress and state legislatures from being able to pass anti-gun laws, because laws, in order to be found to be constitutional if they're attacking gun rights, they have to come from our nation's historical tradition. Those justices said, we don't like this. They're laying the groundwork to potentially overturn it someday, which would be awful for the Second Amendment. Number 3, pro-gun Justice Clarence Thomas also wrote in his concurring decision that he doesn't know if a lot of these federal gun laws found at 18 U.S.C. 922 sub G, that's a lot of those questions that you have to answer when you go to buy a gun on your 4473 background check, if the feds even have jurisdiction over any of them, because he isn't sure if the Commerce Clause should attach. That's a bunch of lawyer gobbledygook for saying he doesn't know if some of the most basic gun laws that we have today are constitutional. He's inviting pro-gun challenges to throw out more gun laws in the future. Folks, we've got an absolutely massive
You did the whole time.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on one second. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is letting us know that we are finally allowed to smoke weed and enjoy our guns.
Not necessarily. It's open for debate, pretty much, is what he just said. He said that the Supreme Court ruled.
He left it open for other municipalities that happen under the gun law, meaning breaking it down case by case in a situation. That's why I would always say, yeah, you probably are not allowed to go outside, publicly smoke weed, and then probably get attacked and then shoot somebody as you're smoking weed in public. That's probably going to get you locked up. It's probably going to get you close to around the minimum to the max. Okay. So yes, you cannot do that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you being attacked and your life is threatened while you smoking weed, and you can prove that in court, then with this law, it's gonna make it open to where they're not gonna throw the book at a person that was for smoking weed. You see what I'm saying?
Well, it opens it up to make those kind of jurisdictions. So they can pass those kind of laws that say if you smoke weed, hey, you can own a gun.
That's it. That's all it does.
It's open it up.
Right. For yet again, when you put in, because like right now I can go get my marijuana license, and so I can go to the dispensary, go get me some very weed that's good for my body for what I need, and then I can still own a gun and still go, you know what I'm saying? As you know me, I love I love my pawn chops. Let's keep it, you know what I'm saying? And now I can go purchase a gun and not feel guilty.
Well, you can't. Yes, it opens it up for that to be an option.
So yet again,
But then not necessarily if they pass laws to where if you're an avid marijuana user, you should still be able. They may be able to pass like stand your ground, even if you're. Because see, what I don't understand is people can drink and own firearms.
that's the whole purpose of what this is doing.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It makes sense to do it this way because if you can have own firearms.
And then in another case in which they didn't bring up is there's not cases where weed and firearm is involved unless it's above a certain amount of weed, what you would call that trafficking. Then that falls under a different category.
Of course.
Right. So what you got to think is an average Joe person, you know what I'm saying? In the history of America since Colorado, Washington, and Seattle became legalized, or what you call it, the percentage of knowing that people smoke weed has risen, right? So now we know a good percentage of marijuana people are in America. We can document that. But right now, you're also saying before this happened, a lot of those people weren't allowed to technically, legally protect themselves. Because that's all the Second Amendment is doing, is giving us the right to bear arms, to protect yourself. What it protects ourselves from the government, in case the government feels like attacking us. Hunting, and when it comes to stuff like that, that's what the Second Amendment is for. To give us the right to do those things. That's what our forefathers was afraid of what people are afraid of today. What main people think they're afraid of, that the government has too much power and one day they're going to rule over the small people. And they're going to be able to come in here and then, because that's what I used to start off with when I first started this. When I was asking, because I was dealing with a lot of people that said they didn't care about the government. And I'm like, y'all claim y'all don't care about the government. But yet again, if the government opened up that door, came in here and said, I'm taking your kids and putting them in the service, you're going to care all of a sudden. And then the first thing a person say, well, the government can't do that. How do you know? You don't care about what the government do. You don't know what law the government has passed because you don't care. So in this situation, I'm a part. Well, what? I don't know the number, so I'm gonna say 36% of America probably smokes weed. I know it's a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Probably documented.
What's the percentage of people who smoke weed in America? Approximately, why doesn't she talk?
Because the number is probably big.
Approximately 15% reports that 50% of the U.S. adult identify as current marijuana smokers. This figure has seen a steady upward trend, rising from 7% in 2013 to current levels to 2020, 2023, and 2024. So it's probably up more than that.
See, that's why I try to be nice, because yet again, I'm figured in my head, if I had to throw a number, about 64% of America probably smokes weed.
It says 13 to 15 past month use. Other rates, such as those from YouGov, April 2026, and the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, estimate around 13 to 15% of Americans use cannabis on a monthly basis. But it says approximately 47%, nearly half of all American adults, report having tried marijuana at least once in their lifetime. Men 17 to 19% are generally more likely to report smoking marijuana than women, 11 to 14%.
Huh? Say that one more time.
It says it says men 17 to 19% are generally more likely to report smoking marijuana than women, 11 to 14%.
That's funny you say that, because I did a report a while back of a guy saying that more women smoke weed.
It says adults age 18 to 34 report the highest usage rate, around 26%.
Okay. That's the difference when you use
some, because these are only reported. We can't say for sure. Sorry, y'all, I'm still sick, kind of. You can't say for sure if people aren't doing surveys. I guess that would be the thing.
So what I want to do real fast, y'all, is I'm gonna bring it to the news. Now, I'm gonna bring it to Forbes. I'm gonna play a different people level so you can hear different ways of people want to present this the proper way. But I'm gonna go to Forbes list, because yet again, Forbes is on a buy situation. So let's break this down and let's get into this.
This World announced on Thursday, and I would love to get your take on it. The Trump administration reclassified medical marijuana as a less dangerous drug. It was recategorized from a Schedule 1 drug to a less strict Schedule 3. So to start off the conversation, you lead a cannabis company. What do you make of the news?
So just as you said it, Brittany, I lead a cannabis company. And since 2019, after running natural organic food companies and other companies, I jumped into the cannabis world. And when I told people that, the first thing they think of cannabis is getting high and all the other effects. And my mission was to bring legitimacy to cannabis, that it was not just about smoking, pre-rolls, a joint. I never let anybody call it weed. I never let anybody call it marijuana. I made sure they referred to it as cannabis. And with that, throughout my years, one of the things I really wanted to make sure was, number one, when you're buying cannabis from us, it's safe. You know what you're getting. It's gone through tremendous regulation. The only country in the world that'll allow that you can sell recreational cannabis was Canada. So that's the only place today Tilray sells cannabis is in the Canadian market, which is recreational. The rest of we sell cannabis, it's all medical cannabis. And that's what really, inspired me and excited me as I spent time doing research on the benefit of medical cannabis and what it can do in regards to cancer patients, anti-vomiting when you're on chemotherapy, pain, anxiety, PTSD. So from this, what this has really done today, number one, the rescheduling, and this being scheduled the same as cocaine and heroin was ridiculous. So from a standpoint today, now it allows us to approach the FDA, the DEA, to present our research that says we should be able to sell medical cannabis in the US like we do, in 20 different countries. and we should be able to sell it for patients that need it for all the, causes or situations that I just talked about.
I want to talk about that scheduling because, like you said, medical marijuana, it was a Schedule 1. That's up there with heroin, MDMA, and LSD.
So now we got that. And you understand the scheduling. Now, now that you understand that and you got the scheduling, now that you can see that that was the start, right? And now you have the actual gun laws that's getting put into place. Here it is.
Marijuana, a campaign is gaining support in Massachusetts to reverse their 2016 legalization of recreational marijuana. This, as the new Wall Street Journal warns of the dangers of weed, saying, quote, doctors at Mass General Brigham Hospital found that the share of adolescents with psychiatric emergencies who tested positive for THC jumped nearly fourfold after the drug was legalized from recreational sale in the state. Journalist and author Alex Beerson has been investigating the marijuana crisis, and he joins us now. So, Alex, a lot of us were more of civil libertarians on this. Is like, if you want to smoke weed, that's on you. But then the health data started to come in, and now it's causing a lot of people to change their perspective on this, right?
Yeah, so I mean, that's absolutely right, Lawrence. When I wrote the Tell Your Children, which is a book about the psychiatric dangers of cannabis in 2019, these issues were, I would say, fringe. It was hard to convince people that there were real problems here, although there was a lot of data that the scientific community knew about. But now people are seeing it for themselves. And I think the real question that people are asking themselves is not, are we going to put millions of people in jail for smoking pot? That's obviously never going to happen. It wouldn't make any sense. The question is, do we want a big commercial industry that's promoting this, that's selling gummies, that's got vapes that are almost pure THC, which is the ingredient in cannabis that gets you high? Do we want that on our streets? Do we want that in stores? Do we want billboards? Do we want the smell of, flower cannabis everywhere? And people are starting to question that.
So, Alex, when you look at the data, the Americans ages 12 plus smoking marijuana, there's been a jump. So back in 2021, it was about 53, a little over 53 million. And now in 2024, it's over 64 million. I guess the big question is, did something change in the marijuana that is causing it to be different and people to react differently? Did the commercialization of it change the strands?
Well, you do. You have this really high potency cannabis that used to be, maybe it was 1 to 3% THC. Now, if you smoke it, it's 20 or 30% THC. And again, you can have extracts that are based.
I can't. No way. And my friend let him sit up there and say, well, marijuana used to be at 14%. When, where, and why? There's no way that a person like that can document weed. We've been around since like hell, shit and hell. And I literally mean it like that, but I'm sorry I had to use those terms, but I need y'all to understand the terms of what I mean. In the 90s, they still had good weed, very good weed, dirt weed, just like they got today. They got very good weed, more potent weed. And I would say, yes, today is a little bit more potent because it's the study into the weed and people are more getting sciencey with the weed. So yes, you do have that. And that is a danger for people who wants to get the most potency and take any shortcut. I will give you that. But to sit on a news coverage, Fox, and to say, because I guess you want to go back to 2021 and say, yeah, the potency of marijuana was only 14%. And then you're not looking at the street markets and stuff like that and really taking a base. You're just taking a small study of what you was putting into cannabis in 2021 and how many states was legalized. That makes, I don't know, that's
I agree. I'm
what
sorry. I agree. I agree that weed has gotten more potent with them being in the dispensaries, and I can tell. And I don't smoke anymore. I haven't smoked in 10 years, but I had an experience that they were speaking about, so I can talk on that side of things. You can get dirt weed that's got a minimum THC level for certain people, and it doesn't affect them as bad as this newer, higher potent stuff. I can tell, and I don't even smoke, so I can tell.
Okay, so that's just like saying when an immature person goes get a couple of bottles or a couple of cans of Four Loko, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you got your one, but now you got your four. That's overdoing it. Okay, I get it. That makes sense because you're gonna put yourself at a high toxic level, and you don't tell them what you're doing because Four Lokos can get you drunk real fast.
And when medical has, this is the difference. The difference is medical marijuana. I lived in a state where medical marijuana was a thing for years. When you got the stuff, before this is way when I was a kid and before it was legal, the medical stuff was way higher strand than the stuff he was buying on the street. You'd get a higher high if you got some medical than when you got just some dirt stuff off the street.
But see, they wasn't selling Moon Rock in dispensaries, and Moon Rocks have a way higher potency than Rock. And then when Sun Rock came out, that's way higher potency than what you can find in a dispensary. That's
basically pure THC that are really easy to smoke. You're not even smoking, you're just inhaling the vapor, or you're eating gummies, edibles. And so it's easy for people who consume a lot of THC. And THC is addictive. Cannabis is addictive, even though the people who back it say it's not. Yes, it doesn't cause the same kind of withdrawal physically as alcohol might, but it is very hard to quit once you start using it, and certainly using it in volume. And so what we've really seen, even more than the number of people who use casually, which hasn't gone up that much, what we've seen is a tremendous number of people, almost over 20 million people who use daily. And there's absolutely no way that using large amounts of THC and cannabis daily is good for you. Just the same way that using a lot of alcohol daily is not good for you. So we've legalized an industry that has all these problems and is profiting essentially off addiction, off psychosis, off what's called scromiting, which is a really nasty condition where you start vomiting uncontrollably after using cannabis. That went up 15-fold in Massachusetts as well. We have all these problems. I mean, really, I do think it's going to take a long time for the political.
I'm so tired of fucking Massachusetts, all they damn snitching and telling and researching and documenting and here. They're like that kid that gets his homework and schoolwork done before the teacher even puts it out to the rest of the student. He already got it done because she was like, well, this is you know what? He got some bright future here. Here's a package. You just sit there and fill that out. Anybody here, teacher? I'm done. We all looking like, what done or what? And teacher like, well, students, giving you this 4-page booklet. Done. You have time to cheat. But nah, I've been noticing a lot of reports when it comes to marijuana and where they get their data from has been from Massachusetts. And there's a lot of, I don't know what goes on up there in Massachusetts, you know what I'm saying? I'm not from there, but damn it, I'm just, a little up to here.
Wind at the back of marijuana to change, but we're starting to see that. I think.
You can see it, and it's not just Massachusetts, Idaho as well. Alex, thanks so much for joining the program.
Idaho, it's not legal. What are they talking about?
Changes. Like Texas might be getting down with the get down. Florida might actually be going legally. You know what I'm saying?
Idaho
DeSantis,
will be the last state to legalize marijuana. I'm sorry. They will be the last state. That in North Carolina. And Texas. You'd have a better chance with all the other states than those three.
what it is, 30, I think they're in the 20s or 30s of states that's even at least medical or recreational now. Or 25. Last time I checked, 25 to 35, one of them damn numbers.
But legalizing it recreationally, I don't see that happening.
I know Florida better at least do it because that'll help with their tourism, even though they're probably still the top state of tourism. That would definitely still help. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm definitely, and I thought about going down there so many times, but like, what am I going down there to do? And you know what I'm saying? That's the main thing that sticks me with not going. I'm like, I'm not going because yeah, y'all get it. There's no way. I can't smoke no weed. Sanchez ain't locking me up. Love my freedom. But then her conspiracy theory is like, is that freedom? You can't go down and smoke. Cause nigga, the law of the land. I can smoke out her freely. As long as you ain't causing no ruckus. And that's the thing too. People causing ruckus. When you cause ruckus, cause attention to yourself, smoking weed, you already loud. You know, come on, man. Y'all know what I mean by loud. Come on now. Y'all already loud. You don't need to be that damn noticeable. Here I am. I'm gonna cover this story again because yet again I like this story, and there's people that still be doubting me on this TSA, you know, still be think I'm lying. Get your weight up. But yet again, this is the crazy part. What I talk about Florida, because this is about Florida, y'all. And I was like, well, you can do this out of Florida, but no. I want to go. Are you scared of boats?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But I get seasick.
Well, I ain't trying to go that far out. I'm just trying to go on
A
the yacht.
new meaning to flying high. I'm your community correspondent, Troy Campbell, and right now I'm at Orlando International Airport, where we've been speaking with passengers who say they had no idea the TSA is now allowing people with their medical marijuana to board planes.
Medical marijuana. Medical.
Yeah. Why you guys say that? Yeah.
But they're not legal in Florida for recreational, right?
Right.
Not for benefit.
Right, but medical. Yet again, I didn't want to get my medical marijuana license just for the simple fact that I didn't want to mess up my gun law and that opportunity. See, now that they combine together, I feel appreciative.
They will be, hopefully.
Girl,
They haven't passed no laws yet.
it's like you're not live, but we'll go till I got
Them saying there's still a lot of confusion.
I was just now hearing about it, and I'm so glad they are, man, because there's so many people that actually need their medical medicine.
Passengers at Orlando International Airport reacting to the TSA policy, which now allows medical marijuana to be stored in both checked and carry-on luggage.
I mean, it is great. Honestly, I feel like everybody deserves to have their medicine with them, no matter what it is.
Back in April, the Trump administration took action to reclassify marijuana from a Schedule 1 drug to a less severe Schedule 3 after dozens of states, including Florida, have passed medical marijuana legislation.
I was not aware. No, I don't think nobody's talking about it yet.
The team.
Boy, I am. Burn Loud channel is. Stop playing. Because a lot of y'all law-abiding citizens, good movie, go check that out, is out here doing the right thing. Y'all not out here trying to cause ruckus. Y'all just got your marijuana license. I got my little tweed, went to Florida, had a good time, chilled on the beach, went to a restaurant, seen a good show or whatever you do in Florida, went to Disneyland? World, thank you. World. And y'all just want to chill. I get it. I'm not mad at you. Pothead Express, no less. You know, but it's good to know that, you know, but this ain't all 50 states. You know what I'm saying? Just understand when it comes to probably most likely marijuana states that I have their marijuana license, probably can just peacefully, calmly, relaxingly, and not be tripping. Because I know a lot of, like, no, I ain't gonna lie, I know a lot of potheads, like, shit, I want to collect, you know what I'm saying, bring something back. Damn, I got something in Florida, I got something over here. I definitely can't wait to go to Oregon and go get some. There are a lot of states we're different and you want to try, and that's the thrill of it. You know, I bet you traveling the booth, every parts of that has everything to do with marijuana is going to see a spike in money. And the reason I say that because I be thinking about what Johnny be talking about, like when it's starting the businesses, and I just want to help. Well, a lot of people are getting that medical marijuana, and now that they're able to travel among states, them traveling routes, these places, and for like smaller states that doesn't have a big traveling that's getting along this, they gonna pick up traffic. Cause man, if I can go to what I don't know no places down south, but like sure, I want to go to New York a little bit. I just want to go to a restaurant in New York. And then I want to go to New Jersey and get my hair done. That's about it. The only reason why I want to go up there. They got some 5-class, 5-star suit, you know what I'm saying? Gotta have a reservation restaurant. I'm up in there. Well, we up in there. You know? I want to go to, I definitely want.
Expensive.
What?
Whoo, New York.
It can't be no more expensive than here.
Oh, yeah. For a blunt paper? Whoo, wee.
When last time you been to New York?
I have never been, but I have a friend who went. And they was trying to get blunt paper a couple years ago. And they wanted like $8 for one blunt paper. Is crazy.
Okay. I was just on a TikTok live. And I understand their blunt things are like $2.50. These individual right here are $2.50. I get it.
You better have all your cigarettes, anything you want to buy before you go.
I mean,
Because
you're traveling for the
damn near $18. You got me.
Well, I don't smoke those. I ain't got to worry about that. But to travel, traveling places are going to see a good spike, a good wave of people coming when these laws like this are getting loosened.
TSA says right now, their agents here at Orlando International aren't searching for any marijuana or illegal drugs. They say instead, those agents have a job of identifying any security threats for that flight.
You're only supposed to be looking through like the x-rays and stuff like that. They should be able to focus on that more.
At this point, it's still unclear if or how TSA agents would verify if somebody has a medical marijuana license. Orlando police tell us if their officers are called to a security line.
Pull the card out. I smell marijuana. You got marijuana on you because of something made us alert to your bag because you feel like you got a little bit more than what you need. Bam, here's the card. I hope it's a number on that card. I don't have one. I ain't gonna lie to nobody, but I hope there's a number on the card. Call the number. Is this a legit number? Oh, it's good. Go about your business. Hopefully you don't miss your flight. For people that like to do that last minute come to the airport.
Officers will evaluate the circumstances and enforce applicable laws accordingly, which calls for a $100 fine if the amount is under 20 grams if someone doesn't have a medical marijuana license.
Yeah, I think it's about time.
Here, this $100, leave me alone. Let me get on my flight.
Honestly, because I think marijuana in general in Florida is just like a gray area. Like some people don't care, some people do.
So you think this is just the good next step for a policy to reflect real life?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally 100%.
And the TSA.
Yeah. Second time me covering it, I just keep covering it just in case, because I be talking to people and they be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah. It's good to know some of these things that's going on in your streets. Another quick news, GTA 6 pre-order release date is tomorrow.
I was over here singing Annie, y'all don't mind me.
Go get your copy. Go get your pre-order. When the trailer come out, we'll most likely we'll break it down, go over it, talk about it.
We will.
Cover it.
We will. It's summertime, so they're doing their summer whatever.
Summertime. Why don't you sit back and rewind? I want the full story. All right, let's go check out Virginia. Virginia. I don't know. I thought I had something I was gonna say. Let's go check out Virginia. Let's see what they're doing in the marijuana.
A new deal tonight to bring the recreational marijuana market to the Commonwealth. Today, Governor Abigail Spanberger announcing the agreement with lawmakers. Fox 5's Homa Bash live in Arlington with the details. So, Homa, when could all of this happen?
Well, Angie, the earliest would be July 1st, 2027. That is to give time to the Cannabis Control Authority to come up with guidelines, regulation, testing. Keep in mind, marijuana possession, medical dispensaries like the one behind me, those have been legal in Virginia for 5 years. This will just allow retail sales, so anybody over the age of 21 could purchase it.
Virginians have been waiting a long time for policymakers and a governor who wanted to do this and get it right.
When I heard through the grapevine, that was the only reason. Let me go back real quick. I'm sorry. When I heard through the grapevine, that's the only reason that they voted this lady in the office. It's the recreational marijuana. Like they didn't listen to no other crazy ideas that she has. And y'all, it was cool. Well, I get it. I want my marijuana. I want my weed. But I have learned, been in this life for a while, like just because I want my weed don't mean the other policies behind her is valid. So it just note to self, people.
Time for policymakers and a governor who wanted to do this and get it right. If our goal is to move consumers away from the illicit market, then the legal market has to be able to compete. And keeping the tax rate low at the start is not just an economic decision, it is a public safety strategy.
Here are some of the details of the compromise between Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger and state lawmakers. Sales will start with a 6% sales tax increase to 8% by July 2029. Revenue will go toward education, behavioral health programs, and public health initiatives. The retail marijuana market is going to be capped at 350 locations. They will phase those in geographically. There's also a loan fund established to help small businesses and minorities compete. Testing and labeling, those will be strict, along with penalties for selling to minors. The proposal also bumps up Virginia's legal possession limit from 1 ounce to 2, but it adds a $250 civil fine for public consumption. Currently, that is $25. This deal comes after Spanberger last month vetoed a different cannabis market framework proposed by the General Assembly that would have had weed sales legal in January. We spoke with Beyond Hello, which operates the only medical marijuana market in Northern Virginia. They've been pushing for a retail market for years.
It really comes down to public health and safety. And so we think, both the legislature and the governor did the right thing here to, continue to push forward and normalize cannabis across Virginia.
It is what it is. Everything you do, there's benefits and there's negatives to it. So it's better than alcohol. It's better than cigarettes. That's how I know. I've used it for 2 years. I stopped it because it is addictive.
Not a big smoker, but it's great for those who do smoke.
The legislation still needs to go through the budget process. If and when it is approved, it'll make Virginia the first southern state to allow for retail sales. Again, that starts July 1st, 2027. Kenneth, Angie.
Thank you so much, Homa.
Virginia's proposed recreational cannabis market is drawing praise from some in the
Virginians. I don't know. That's what it's saying. Why y'all don't call yourself that? Huh?
Are you sure they don't?
No, I heard it. I heard it when they was on Pellerin thing when they had an argument about it. And no, they don't call themselves Virginians. It's something else they call themselves because they got deep. Yeah, that's likely what they call it. And it's weird because what they call yourself over there in Oregon. So I never really tripped off Missourians, and I don't even think that's what they call themselves. I forgot what it's called. I know they'd be like, we the show me's. I'm from the show me state. And that's more of what you would hear if you heard but I guess it's Missouri. I don't know. That's funny. I never really thought about that. But hey, Virginia, y'all law, keep it in the market. They trying to keep their stuff low. They are trying to somehow get rid of the black street market. Wait, that's hard. And you think you're gonna be cheaper than the street market? Good luck. I think that's what all cannabis should try to do. You know what I'm saying?
They can't though.
They
can't though because they have to tax it. They got to do all this crazy, stupid things with everything. It's not just marijuana.
And that's why y'all was gonna have the street market.
Tax on everything. Yeah.
And then you have these places that can only buy a certain amount. So, you know what I'm saying? These dealers who deal still have more, but they still got to get rid of product. Supply and demand. No lying. Supply and demand.
Supply.
Supply and demand. Y'all hear that? And the man.
All right, y'all. Listen. I got a basketball game to attend to here in a couple minutes.
Huh?
And we also got, I guess, baseball. Well, he's got baseball. I got basketball. I don't know how he ends this stuff on Mondays because I'm usually asleep and I don't smoke, so I'll never need to be here.
Peace out.
Unless you want to talk about tobacco wacky, then we can talk about that. I can talk about
What's
tobacco wacky.
what is tobacco?
That's what they used to call tobacco.
Tobacco
It was tobacco wacky or tobacco wacko, some shit.
in the 60s.
That's funny. I just had to say it. I could talk about that. Can't talk about. I ain't smoked in 10 years. The last time I ate anything marijuana related was in 2020.
I smoked a cigarette and
I'm talking about weed.
tobacco wacky.
It's tobacco wacky.
You know what? Until next time, y'all. We out.
This motherfucker is locked. Talking, I'm in love, but I'm